Hello everyone, this is a new way to measure, plan, estimate and sell flooring. My name's Nigel and I'm going to show you the easy way to do this in the customer's home using MeasureSquare iPad. Let's not beat around the bush, let's take a look at the diagram page and I'm going to show you how this really works. Here we go. Here's the diagram screen of the MeasureSquare iPad app. As you can see there, I'm just using my finger just to drag that screen around. If we have a look across the top here, we have a number of functions. The main function there is this little down arrow here, and we can add a rectangle room. Drag your finger, create a rectangle room. If we want to create any other shape room, add the polygon tool. So now I'm just using the finger just to create the shape of the room that I'm actually standing in. You'll notice down the bottom here, we've got a doorway tool, a missing wall tool, change direction of measure, and an angular tool, which I'll demonstrate in a minute. So if we turn around and we finish this particular shape off, obviously we've got to position the room where it fits. Now to resize a room, very simple. Tap the room, tap the eye, and then tap resize. Now we can resize the room in two ways. If we haven't got a laser measure or a Disto D510, we can simply put down our tape or our other model laser and take a measurement. Tap the little calculator icon here. We notice that we've got this room or this wall highlighted here, and we can type in the dimension. So let's just say, for instance, this is 9.1. Click apply, and it resizes the room for me. I do the same in the other direction. Apply, resizes the room for me. Another way to do this is simply use your Disto. So all we need to do there is grab our Disto, turn the Disto on. Next, tap the Disto icon on the iPad. It'll find the Disto. Now we're connected to the Disto. All we've got to do now is simply take a measurement with the Leica Disto D510, and it will resize that room for us. Very simple. Once we've resized the room, simply turn around and we can actually tap, position the room where we like to on the screen. We've looked at how we can draw shapes and resize those particular shapes using a Disto or using the manual method by putting down the tape. With the iPad edition of the MeasureSquare software, we can also use the Disto to draw directly as we measure. All I've simply got to do is actually move my finger in the direction of measure, take a measurement with the Disto, and it resizes that particular line. Next direction of measure, take a measurement, and it resizes that line. Now we complete that process until we finish the shape. One interesting little feature that I'll show you here is the angle tool. Okay, so down here we have this set square. We tap the set square, and it tells us, we want to take a measurement across there. Now obviously we can't because that's an outside measurement, so all we've got to do is tap this little star function, and it tells us where to take the measurement from. Now in this case, I'm just going to use the calculator tool to take that measurement there. Now let's say that was 6 meters across that particular, from point to point. Click apply, and it resizes that angle for us. So very effective tool. Turn it off, keep measuring. Next thing I'm going to cover in this video is simply how to apply products, and obviously moving through to the estimation process. What we're going to do now is apply some products to these rooms. Very simple. We've exposed the products area by tapping this little grey icon up here. Now all we're going to do is drag our carpet across, and it widths in the carpet for us. Now, we have multiple options here. We can reposition seams by simply dragging those seams around. We have this information bar down the bottom here, which actually shows our cuts and fills. Now, we may turn around with that and we might say, look, I don't want to install it that way. I want to install it on the vertical. So we tap this particular button here, select the vertical option, and it rotates the job on the vertical for us. You'll notice it's automatically put a third split in there for us to take up the waste. Okay, we can obviously change that. We can remove those cross joins. We can remove the third split if we don't require them. But we can also add a T-seams just by simply adding the T-seam function, and we can put another cross joint in there. If we don't want it, simply drag it out of the room. As you can see, we can apply multiple products, so if we want the laminate in that particular area, you can drag that in there. Again, we can change its direction just by saying vertical, which product, that product, click done, it installs the laminate on the vertical for us. And again, multiple products in that room, so we've now got two carpets, two different types of carpets in there and a laminate. Tap on that orange carpet, shows us the cut for us as well. Right, once we get to this particular point here and everyone's happy with the layout, just something to note when we're installing carpet and vinyl, we also have the option to rotate the direction of installation on one particular room. The series of training videos that you'll see on this particular page covers that in more depth. This is really just to give you an idea on how to get from A to B. Okay, so at this point here we're ready to produce a quote. We select that function button there and we go to our worksheet. Our worksheet calculates everything that we've got on that screen. Okay, it's in square meters, but it also calculates carpet in lineal and also vinyl in lineal. But we do have to put a square meter price in there. You can see the calculator pull up, underlay, installation, and so on. Once we get to that point there, we can simply say send, and we can send this information as a quote to the customer via email. Okay, it's up to us what we want to show them. We can turn off information like price, amounts, and they can just have, essentially, we are supplying this product in the following rooms for the following price. Once we click done, it will actually turn around and obviously attach all that information to an email. Well, it's actually sending that particular quote to the customer now. One of the final areas that we'll look at with this particular short video is how do we send this information not only to the customer, but how do we send it to the installer. At the top of the screen here we have a little icon. It says View Report. Okay, now in the View Report option we have the option to send the diagram, cut list and estimation summary. We can also select various bits of information that we want to share with those particular people. All we need to do here is tap done, and there we go. We have an installation diagram, cut sheet for the various products, and estimation summary. Of course we can turn most of that information off depending on who we're sending this report to. One of the other areas within this view report is share project. So share project file. What that enables us to do is actually share the project file with other team members using MeasureSquare iPad or even MeasureSquare iPhone. As we can see here, it's attached the project to an email. Obviously put your colleague's email in there and then send that email. And that's the new way to plan flooring. Thanks for your time. We'll be producing more videos, more detailed videos on the different aspects of the software in the coming weeks and months. So check back with us. Thank you very much.